What is the deadliest animal in the world? One might argue that it is some species of shark or snake. They might even propose that the answer is humans. However, they would be wrong. In terms of the number of people the creature kills annually, the deadliest animal in the world is none other than the mosquito. Mosquitoes are attributed to over 1 million deaths every year, 80 to 90% of those deaths being children. Female mosquitoes need the blood for the development of their eggs, which is why male mosquitoes don't bite. There are over 500 million cases of malaria reported annually. It has been reported that a child dies of malaria every 40 seconds, and that's just for malaria. Brian Strasburger recalls his own story. "I was stunned by the abruptness of it all. An unattended fever, an all-too-late hospital visit, a tragic death, and the funeral just 2 days later, less than a week from symptoms to burial." As tragic as deaths like these are, it's not the mosquitoes themselves that are to blame, but it is the diseases that they are known to carry. There are many diseases that are spread by mosquitoes, some even affecting dogs and horses. With over 3,500 species of mosquitoes that inhabit almost every country on Earth, they are nearly inescapable. Their bites, if not deadly, are incredibly discomforting as they itch and cause red bumps on the skin. With these facts in mind, it becomes easier for one to see how the mosquito is in fact the deadliest animal in the world. And if something doesn't happen to solve this problem, more and more people will continue to die every year worldwide. Some of the most common diseases mosquitoes carry include malaria, the Zika virus, the West Nile virus, dengue, various types of encephalitis, and yellow fever. No specific antiviral treatment exists for treating the Zika virus. There is no medicine to treat or cure infection from yellow fever, and superparasites are becoming immune to the current malaria meds. There are some promising studies that have been done that may have found cures for some of these illnesses. A compound known as 49C has shown promising results in treating malaria. More interestingly, doctors in Africa have begun to prescribe to their patients with malaria a tea made from a plant called Artemisia annua. They claim it works better and is safer than some malaria medications. Still, there are many more cures and treatments to be found when it comes to treating mosquito-borne illnesses. The best way to not die from a mosquito bite is to simply not get bitten at all. Some great ways to prevent mosquito bites is to remove areas of standing water, avoid going outside at dusk and dawn, and wear pants and long-sleeved shirts to prevent bites. Bug spray is another great way to prevent mosquito bites, but some mosquito repellents can be harmful to the environment and might kill beneficial insects along with the bad ones. If one could find an all-natural mosquito repellent, it would be the best of both worlds. While not practical, the best way to prevent mosquito bites is actually to move to Iceland. Iceland is the only country in the world that does not house any species of mosquitoes. Scientists believe this is, among many reasons, due to Iceland's abnormal weather patterns and the life cycles of mosquitoes. Unfortunately though, it isn't realistic to try and move the entire world population to Iceland. But why not just get rid of mosquitoes entirely? While completely eradicating mosquitoes from the face of the earth may sound nice, there are many pros and cons to consider. One pro of exterminating all mosquitoes is that the spread of mosquito-borne illnesses would drastically drop. Some diseases like malaria can transfer from person to person in ways other than mosquito bites, such as blood transfusions. But without mosquitoes, the rate would significantly drop, saving countless lives. One con is that in some ecosystems, mosquitoes are important pollinators. We've all seen the Bee Movie, so I don't need to explain why the absence of important pollinators can be detrimental to an ecosystem. One more pro is that even if they aren't deadly, mosquitoes are incredibly annoying. Imagine how much better that summer barbecue would be without a single mosquito in sight. It sounds pretty nice. One last con though is that mosquitoes undeniably hold a place in the food chain. The eradication of an entire species would certainly cause problems. Many creatures, from fish to lizards, have mosquitoes as a large part of their diet. Getting rid of all mosquitoes would be getting rid of a very large food source. But what if we decided to follow through and get rid of mosquitoes? Would we be able to do it? Is such a feat even possible? Biologists at Oxford University have created genetically engineered male mosquitoes that contain a mutation that kills all of their offspring. In tests where the mosquitoes were released into the wild to mate, the mosquito numbers in that area plummeted. So theoretically, if we wanted to, it is possible to exterminate all mosquitoes. However, there are more questions to consider before we start releasing these mutated mosquitoes all over the world. Do we as a species have the right to eradicate another species? Is human health more important than environmental health? If we had the ability to kill an animal that kills more than 1 million people every year, would we be morally obligated to do so? Do we have the right to decide which species survive and which don't? Are there any better solutions? Even if it did work, would that be the end of it? While mosquitoes are the deadliest animals in the world, there are many more creatures that cause many deaths as well. Houseflies are attributed to over 500,000 deaths every year, so do we go and kill all houseflies then? Where is the line crossed for which organisms are considered deadly enough for us to completely wipe them out? We can't just get rid of every dangerous insect or the food chain would completely collapse. The issue about what to do about mosquitoes is not so black and white as it might seem. The mosquito epidemic remains a global issue, but there is still hope. Whether the solution comes from a super vaccine, an herbal tea, adaptations within our own bodies, or the extermination of an entire species, we will find a solution. How long until that solution is found isn't clear, but hopefully it will come soon. In the meantime though, I'll be busy packing my bags and booking a one-way flight to Reykjavik.